After skipping my own birthday to watch my sister's kids for a week, I came home to find a post she wrote online: "Real moms don't need help from pathetic wannabes." I sat in my empty apartment reading comment after comment from family members agreeing with her. 6 months later, when she lost custody, I was the only one the judge trusted to step in, and I didn't let her forget it. My name's Heather. I'm 34 years old, live in Akron, Ohio. Just me in a small one-bedroom apartment with second-hand furniture and quiet neighbors. I work at a small accounting firm, nothing flashy. I've always been the one who handles things. You know the type: pays the bills on time, shows up early, keeps her head down, and helps when people ask. My sister Madison is 2 years younger than me. Growing up, she was loud, wild, always pulling attention to herself. I was the quiet one, the helper. She was the girl with the drama, the boyfriends, the fake eyelashes in high school, skipping classes and sneaking out while I stayed up doing her chores so we wouldn't both get yelled at. Madison had her first kid at 19. Then 2 more by the time she was 27. All with different dads. Not one stuck around. I never said anything. People in my family act like saying nothing is the same as support. It's not. Still, I helped. Not because I liked her. Honestly, I don't think I ever really liked her. But I love her kids. Always have. I watched them after school. Bought diapers more times than I can count. Paid for Christmas gifts when she was short, which was almost every year. I never told anyone. Didn't even tell her half the time. I just did what needed to be done. Last September, 3 days before my birthday, Madison called me crying. Said she got offered a training week for a new hotel manager job in Columbus. She had to leave town for 5 days. Her usual sitter bailed. No one else would help. I'd planned a weekend in Cleveland. Nothing huge, just dinner, a show, and hotel drinks with a few coworkers. First time I planned something for myself in over a year. But when she said, "Please, Heather, I'm desperate. You're the only one I trust," I caved. I always do. I canceled my trip. Cleaned my apartment. Took time off work. I bought groceries, toys, and medicine for her youngest, who was already coughing when she dropped them off. She left that Friday morning with barely a thank you. Just a messy bag of clothes and a promise she'd be back Wednesday night. Wednesday came. No Madison. Thursday morning, I got a text: "Still stuck here. Can't drive back till tomorrow. Sorry. I owe you big time." She didn't owe me. I wasn't keeping score. But I was tired. I was missing work. And it was my damn birthday. When she finally picked them up Friday evening, she looked great. Nails done, hair straightened, shopping bags in her back seat. She hugged the kids like she hadn't just left them for a week and gave me a rushed, "Thanks again. You're a lifesaver." That night, I sat on my couch, emotionally drained. I was scrolling Facebook while eating cold pizza when I saw her post. Bright red background, bold white letters: "Real moms don't need help from pathetic wannabes trying to play house. You either have it or you don't. Period." My heart stopped. It had 67 likes. Then I saw the comments. Dozens of them. People in our family. Cousins. Aunts. Even our older brother chimed in with a laughing emoji. Louder for the ones in the back, sis. Some people just want to feel needed. Sad. Single moms do it all, no time for fake support. They were talking about me. They all knew I had her kids. Everyone knew. No one had offered to help. No one even texted to say happy birthday. I sat there, staring at that screen in my empty apartment. I didn't cry. I just felt gutted. I gave up everything that week. And she turned it into some braggy, mean-spirited jab like I was trying to be her. I never wanted her life. I just didn't want her kids to feel abandoned. I stopped answering her texts. I didn't fight. Didn't yell. I just went cold. And when she noticed and asked what was wrong, I told her I was busy. That was it. 6 months later, I got a call from CPS. Madison left her kids home alone overnight. Again. This time, she told the caseworker she had a work emergency. But neighbors had called the cops around 1 a.m. because her youngest was screaming and banging on the door. When police came, they found the oldest, just 10 years old, trying to cook frozen chicken nuggets for his sisters. He'd never used the oven before. The kids were pulled immediately. The caseworker told me I was listed as emergency contact. They asked if I could take them in. I said yes. No hesitation. That night, they came to my apartment with just 2 backpacks. I gave them my bed. Slept on the couch. Called my job and explained everything. My boss understood. Thank God. I registered them for school the next day. Bought clothes, toothbrushes, shoes. Got them into therapy a week later. They didn't ask questions. They just adjusted. It was like they were used to surviving. Then came the hearing. Madison cried in court. She wore a wrinkled blouse and smeared makeup. Told the judge it was just one bad night. Said she had no choice and was doing the best she could. The judge didn't buy it. She had reports. Past CPS visits. Absences from school. Poor conditions. Even unpaid utility bills. She turned to me. Heather, can you take temporary custody while we sort this out? I said yes. Madison didn't even look at me. When the hearing ended, she caught me in the hallway. Screamed at me in front of other parents and the security guard. This is what you always wanted. You want to be me. You took my babies. I told her, calmly, no. You handed them to me. Then I walked away. The next 3 months were hard but peaceful. I made space for them. We created routines. They laughed more. Slept through the night. The middle one stopped wetting the bed. I could tell they felt safe. Madison missed 2 visitations. When she did show up, she acted like nothing was wrong. Brought candy and cheap toys, tried to play it off like they were just visiting Aunt Heather. The kids didn't buy it. I didn't say a word. I documented everything. Every missed visit. Every late pickup. Every time she didn't bring clothes or supplies. At the next custody hearing, the judge asked me if I was willing to keep custody long-term. I said yes again. Madison lost it. She said the system was punishing her. That she was just trying to survive. After court, she caught me again. You think you're better than me, she said, shaking. But you're just a lonely old woman pretending to be a mom. I looked her right in the eyes and said, no, Madison. I'm just not a coward. I left her in that parking lot, and this time, she didn't follow me. But I wasn't done yet. That night, I pulled up her old Facebook post. Screenshotted every comment. Every like. Every heart reaction. I printed them all. Taped them to a blank white sheet of paper. Underneath, I wrote, pathetic wannabe. Real moms show up. Real moms don't disappear overnight. Real moms don't lie in court. I didn't take anything from you. You gave it away. And now your kids know who was really there. I mailed it to her. I made copies for every person who commented on that post. Aunts. Cousins. Even our brother. No one replied. The silence was better than apologies. Madison still posts sometimes. Sad quotes. Memes about narcissists. Sometimes a photo of her and the kids from years ago with captions like, "My world. I miss you." But she never tags me. She never asks for help anymore either. And I don't reach out. The kids are safe. They're thriving. This part of the story isn't over yet. But Madison knows who they run to when they're scared at night. And every time she scrolls through her old posts, she sees what it cost her. A few months after the judge gave me permanent custody, I started getting strange calls. Blocked numbers. No one on the other end. Just silence, then a hang-up. At first, I thought it was spam. But it kept happening. 3, 4 times a week. Then one night, around 11 p.m., someone knocked on my door. I live on the second floor of a small building, so that doesn't happen often. I didn't open it. Just peeked through the peephole. No one was there. But on the floor was a brown envelope. Inside were photos. Printed out phone pictures, blurry and cheap. Pictures of me. Walking to my car with the kids. Standing at the school pickup line. One of me in my work clothes, holding my coffee cup. No return address. No note. I reported it to the police, but they said it was weird, not illegal. I figured it had to be Madison. Who else would even bother? The next week, I found out. Madison filed a motion with the court. She wanted custody back. Claimed she had completed all her parenting classes, had a stable job, and was ready to rebuild her family. Her lawyer was some cheap family attorney from Cuyahoga Falls. Mine was a legal aid volunteer, overworked, but smart. When we showed up to the hearing, Madison was dressed like she was going to a funeral. Black skirt, tight bun, fake tears. She called 2 witnesses, her new supervisor and a friend she claimed was a childhood neighbor. The supervisor gave a basic statement: she'd been showing up on time, working hard. The friend was different. A woman named Carly, mid-30s, who spoke confidently and made a show of smiling sweetly at the judge. She's turned her whole life around, Carly said. She's sober. She's focused. She talks about her kids every day. She's a great mom. When it was my turn to speak, I kept it simple. I brought a folder. Inside were school reports, notes from the kids' teachers, photos of their improvement, records of Madison's missed visits, even ones from the last month. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't cry. I just said, the kids are doing better. Their grades went up. Their sleep improved. They don't have to be afraid of being left alone anymore. But the part that hit hardest? The kids themselves. The judge requested a guardian ad litem to speak with them. Separate interviews. And what they said. I didn't even know the full extent. The oldest said, "I don't want to live with her. She yells too much. I had to cook for my sisters while she was gone." The middle child cried and told the court officer, "Sometimes we didn't eat dinner." The youngest? She didn't speak much. But when asked where she felt safest, she said one word, "Auntie." That was all. The judge didn't make a ruling that day. She said she'd take it under advisement. But I could tell by the way Madison wouldn't look at me after, by how fast she left the courtroom, she knew it didn't go her way. Still, I didn't feel calm. Because 2 nights later, my car windows were smashed. Nothing stolen. Just glass everywhere. Like someone wanted to send a message. I filed another police report. I had a strong feeling who it was, but no proof. And I couldn't prove Madison had anything to do with it. But the next twist came fast. One morning, I got a call from the kids' school. The oldest had gotten into a fight. Some boy said something about his real mom being trash, and he snapped. Hit the kid. Got suspended for 3 days. I sat him down at home, and he finally let it all out. Everything. She keeps calling me, he said. She got a new number. She said you stole us. That you lied in court. I froze. He handed me his phone. A cheap prepaid phone I hadn't seen before. Madison had given it to him during one of her visits. She told him not to tell me. She told him I hated her. That I didn't want her to have them back because I was jealous. I saw the messages. Dozens of them. Sent late at night. Guilt-tripping. Begging. Accusing. One even said, "Your aunt will never love you like I do. She just wants to feel like a hero." That broke me. I took screenshots of everything. Called my lawyer. Called CPS. Called the judge's clerk. I filed an emergency petition to suspend all contact immediately. Another hearing was scheduled. Madison tried to deny everything, said the messages were fake, the phone wasn't hers. But the judge had enough. Visits were stopped. Completely. Until further notice. Madison lost it in court. Security had to escort her out. That was 3 weeks ago. Now the kids are adjusting again. There are questions. Tears. A lot of late-night talks. The oldest feels like he betrayed me by keeping the phone secret. I told him he didn't. He's a kid. He was scared and confused. Madison's still out there. Still posting on social media. Still playing victim. But the more she tries to pull them back with guilt and lies, the more they see the truth. And the more I remember that Facebook post from last year, the one she never deleted. Real moms don't need help from pathetic wannabes. She was right about one thing. I didn't need her help. But those kids? They needed someone who would never walk away. She made sure I was that person. And now she's learning what happens when you push away the last person who ever gave a damn. 3 weeks after the court stopped her visitation, Madison disappeared. I don't mean she vanished off the face of the earth, people like her never fully go away, but she stopped showing up online. Deleted her Facebook. No new posts, no stories. The cousin who usually shared her sad mom rants posted a cryptic message, "People don't know the whole story. Some of us aren't staying quiet anymore." At first, I ignored it. I had bigger things to focus on. The kids were adjusting again. I was trying to enroll them in a summer enrichment program. The oldest started having stomachaches in the morning. I took him to the doctor, just stress. The little one kept asking if her mom was mad at her. It was like peeling layers of trauma off, one at a time. Then I got an email. Not a message, an email. From a name I didn't know. The subject line was, "I'm sorry but you should know this." It was from Carly. The same woman who testified in court on Madison's behalf. The childhood neighbor. Only she wasn't. She wrote, "Heather, I can't live with the lie anymore. I didn't grow up with your sister. I met her at a recovery group. She paid me $250 to say nice things about her in court. Said the judge wouldn't give her kids back unless someone good backed her up. I didn't think it mattered. But I saw those kids. I saw what you were doing. And I feel sick now. I thought you should know." My stomach dropped. She attached a copy of a Venmo payment. Madison had labeled it, "Childcare Testimony," right there in writing. I forwarded it to my lawyer. They filed a motion to submit the new information. But before we could even schedule a new hearing, the other twist came. Madison filed a complaint with CPS against me. She claimed I was verbally abusive, that the kids were isolated, and that I allowed illegal substances in the home. Total lies. Every one of them. Still, CPS had to do their job. They showed up at my apartment, unannounced. Interviewed the kids. Looked through my kitchen. Checked the bedrooms. Talked to my neighbors. After they left, I sat down on the couch, shaking. I couldn't believe it. I wasn't sleeping. Barely eating. I felt like I was being stalked and hunted by my own sister, like she was trying to wear me down until I snapped. But the worst part? The kids knew what was happening. They overheard the CPS worker asking questions. Later that night, the middle child sat beside me and asked, "Are they gonna take us away?" That nearly broke me. 2 days later, the CPS worker called back. Cleared everything. Said there was no concern for the children's safety or well-being, and noted the complaint had questionable motivation. But still, Madison tried to weaponize the system. Tried to drag me down with fake stories after she got caught in her own lies. That's when I decided to go one step further. I requested her CPS case file through legal channels. It was hundreds of pages. Every report. Every missed visit. Every neighbor complaint. Every time a teacher flagged her for neglect. Some of it I already knew. Some of it hit me like a punch to the gut. There was a 911 call I'd never heard before. From 2 years ago. Her oldest had called because he couldn't wake her up. She had taken too many sleeping pills. He was crying on the phone, saying, "Please, I don't know what to do. My mom won't wake up." That was her legacy. I sat alone at my kitchen table that night, reading every page, every line, and I felt something I hadn't felt before, not sadness, not anger. Clarity. Madison didn't just need help. She didn't want it. She wanted attention. She wanted pity. She wanted people to see her as the poor single mom who tried her best. She didn't want to change. She just wanted to be the center of the story. But now the story was out of her hands. And there was still more to come. Because what Madison didn't know? Her oldest had started writing everything down. A notebook. Filled with the things she said to him. Things she did. The night she left them alone and said, "Don't be a baby, just microwave something." The time she told him, "I wish I never had you, you're just like your dad." I didn't ask him to write any of it. I found it by accident one morning when I was changing sheets. He wasn't ashamed. He said he wanted to remember the truth in case anyone tried to say different. I asked him if I could copy it. He nodded. I made 10 copies. One went to my lawyer. One went into the court file. One I kept for myself. And the rest? They were for later. Because Madison wasn't done playing games. But neither was I. 3 months passed. Madison went quiet again. No more calls. No more fake reports. Not a word. I thought maybe she'd finally backed off. Then I got a subpoena in the mail. Madison was suing me for defamation. She claimed I had spread false information about her to maliciously ruin her reputation and alienate her from her children. Her lawsuit referenced the letter I sent to our relatives, the one with screenshots of her Facebook post and all the family comments. She claimed I had deliberately turned the family against her and humiliated her publicly. I sat in my car outside the post office holding the envelope, laughing, but not because it was funny. It was the kind of laugh that comes when you've hit your limit and reality just feels unreal. I called my lawyer. She was calm, said it wouldn't hold up in court. But I still had to prepare a defense. That meant depositions. Evidence. More digging into a life I wanted to be done with. Here's the thing, though, Madison thought she could drag me into another courtroom and make me miserable. What she didn't realize was this time I was ready. I went deeper. I pulled every bit of documentation from CPS. I got character statements from teachers, neighbors, even the school counselor. I got a sworn affidavit from Carly, the woman who admitted Madison paid her to lie in court. I gathered all of it. And then I did something that surprised even my lawyer. I countersued. Custodial interference. Emotional distress. Fraud. I had proof that Madison gave her son a secret phone, told him lies, sent threatening messages, and planted false reports. I had her own words. Her own Venmo payments. Her voice, recorded by her son one night, telling him, "Don't tell your aunt what I said. She's trying to steal you from me." And when it finally went to court, I didn't hold back. Madison walked in like she always did, fake tears, messy bun, victim hoodie. I walked in with a binder 4 inches thick and 3 kids sitting beside me in clean clothes and quiet confidence. The judge read through the evidence. Line by line. Email by email. Picture by picture. Then the kids spoke. Each one. The oldest stared straight at his mom and said, "I used to think it was my fault. But I know now it wasn't. She left us. Heather didn't steal us. She saved us." The middle child cried as she told the court, "Mom yelled at us a lot. She said mean things. She never showed up when she said she would. The youngest just said, 'I love Auntie. I want to stay home.'" Madison didn't even try to argue. Her lawyer asked for a recess halfway through and never came back. The judge dismissed her case, then turned to mine. Judgment, in my favor. Madison was ordered to pay me damages, just over $15,000. She didn't have it. Still doesn't. But the court put a lien on any future earnings. More than the money, though. She lost something else that day. She lost the final shred of control. The judge put it in writing: no contact. No communication. No visitation without court approval and psychiatric evaluation. It was over. But I wasn't done. I mailed a letter to every single person who commented on that Facebook post. Same envelope. Same screenshots. But now, I included a court summary. Final page said, "This is the truth you laughed at. You helped her mock the only person who stood by her. Now you know what really happened. You chose her story. I chose her kids. We're doing just fine." A few of them reached out. Apologies. Excuses. I didn't respond. Actions have weight. So do silence and snide comments. And Madison? She's working at a gas station in a different town now. Last I heard, she tried to start a GoFundMe. Said she was robbed of motherhood by a bitter sister and a crooked court. It raised $42. Her kids still live with me. They're thriving. The oldest just won an award in school for leadership. The middle child joined choir. The little one started calling me Mom by accident last week. Then stopped. Looked at me. Said, "That's okay, right?" I said, "It's more than okay. Sometimes I wonder if I was too cold. Too exact. Maybe I didn't need to go so hard with the family letters or the countersuit." But then I remember the night I sat alone in my dark apartment, after skipping my own birthday, reading those comments from the people I'd helped my whole life, people who knew what I'd done and still laughed at me like I was some pathetic fool trying to play mom. They wanted me to feel ashamed. Now they're silent. Now they watch from a distance while I raise the kids they abandoned and cheer at Christmas cards they'll never receive. Madison wanted everyone to know I wasn't a real mom. Now everyone knows I'm the only one who ever showed up like one. And that's not revenge. That's justice.